Oh, hi vlog.
How's it going, guys?
A new face. This is Alec, the insightful nomad.
Yep.
I'm going to put all of his links to all of his social media and his YouTube here. But the reason that we're both here is because of you guys. I think we have a little bit of a crossover, right, of our subscribers.
Yeah. I had subscribers who said that I have to meet Oriel and do a video with her. So
And
here
I
it's
had the
happening.
same.
It's great.
And we are at Jaffa Gate. We're just going to roam around and talk. We're going to discover together a super interesting person that has a really great perspective.
I worked as a journalist for 5.5 years at I-24 News, that some of you may know, and got tired of all the heavy news stuff.
Yeah.
So I quit and started a travel vlog. And soon that travel vlog kind of became like a vlog of visiting these Arab countries, Muslim countries, countries that don't always have great relationship with Israel, and kind of meeting people there as best I can. And that was probably the most interesting part of my journey abroad. And now I'm kind of like back in Israel, still vlogging here and still journalisming. So that's what's up. And yeah, here's the entrance to the old city. So we'll walk inside, no?
Yeah, we get to enjoy each other. So we're going to walk different places. Join us. It's going to be fun. Just a tip for the wise, always come with comfortable shoes to the old city. It gets super slippery here even when it's not raining.
Saying like there's a country that you could criticize in a lot of ways. The same goes for Russia. Oh,
that's what I was talking about.
It's also getting hot, notice.
Yes, it gets hot and I'm very Ashkenaziya. Never ever bring myself sunscreen.
It's over 30. It's over 30 degrees now, but we got a bit of a breeze, so it's nice. Check out, look at the old buildings that we have in the old city. Amazing.
The Tower of David you guys saw for All Israel News, that I did the Night Spectacular. So go to All Israel News and watch that. It's really amazing. We're just going to make our way through and ask all the questions. Okay, so Alec, give me a bit of your background. You're Israeli American, Nahon?
Yeah, so my father and my mother, they made Aliyah to Israel in the 70s. Actually, my dad from England, and they got married here in Israel. They moved to the US for a few years, like to work a bit before they came back here. I was born there, and then they came back and I grew up in Israel. I didn't know about this, check. Armenian flag, right?
Yeah.
Armenian tavern. And we have here in Jerusalem, you might know 4 quarters. 3 of them are very intuitional, which is Jewish, Christian, Muslim. And then there's a 4th quarter, which people don't know about, which is the Armenian quarter. We're not in the Armenian quarter now, but this is the Armenian tavern. So we have Armenians here in the old city. And, you know, I visited Armenia, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
I visited Armenia, and it was the country and the people that most remind me of Israel and the Jews.
Why is that?
Because they have the same story. They have a very ancient people and religion. Armenia is the first Christian country in the world. Like the first actual entity state that became Christian long before Constantine, right? Emperor Constantine of the Roman Empire decreed Christianity as the religion of the empire, and then it became this big religion throughout the world. Christianity, before that, it was very small. So already before that, you had it in Armenia. They held on to their identity through many generations, exiles. You have an Armenian community everywhere in the world. French Armenians. Oh, we're gonna get run over. It's not wide enough. It's not wide enough for us and the thing.
The streets are very narrow. Also, here's the Armenian church. I've been in this Armenian church. I didn't understand it. You can't film in there. You respect the place, but it's worth going inside. It's really beautiful. I came just as they were going to pray.
About that Armenian analogy, because it's very interesting. So you have these Armenian diasporic communities around the globe, also in the US and also in a lot of places. They created a modern state that's built atop of that ancient identity, right? Like Israel, went through a genocide, like the Jewish people, the Armenian genocide, recovered from that to build their state. And today their state is surrounded by enemies, like Israel.
Wow, full
So they have
circle.
Azerbaijan to the east, Turkey to the west. They're fighting these wars and stuff.
So when you travel and people realize that you're Israeli, or you tell them, how do they react? I'm supposing that everywhere is different.
Yeah, and every person is different. First of all, when I went to these countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Malaysia, I didn't always say I was from Israel.
Yeah.
Like, it depended on the circumstance and if I felt comfortable. I definitely wouldn't recommend going to Egypt and just going to everyone and telling you're from Israel. I think that's going to end really badly. Especially now, so like post October 7th. I was there before October 7th, so it's a different situation completely. In Egypt, I got a lot of negative reactions as well. There's like a very viral video of me being kicked off a motorbike in Egypt because I said I was from Israel.
Oh.
That was like, keeps getting posted to places like Twitter and Facebook, and every time it gets millions of views. And everyone's like very happy. It's like, kick him off, the Zionists, get rid of him. That kind of thing. I also had like other encounters that were a bit, where people were a bit aggressive and things like that. But I think I had more that were good.
That's good.
Um,
I feel like that's sort of rare in the comment section today, that you have a lot, defending you or Israel.
Yeah.
The anti-Semitic comments are rampant.
Well, the thing is, this is the thing that's interesting, is that of course the online world, the social media world, is worse than the real world. So any person who's busy going on social media, writing comments and stuff, is usually very nasty.
Stop for a second here in the sun, like a smart person, because I just want to swivel you guys around. So just explaining, we went from Jaffa Gate and we went sort of close to like the walls instead of inside, but you can go through the market. If you aren't able to walk the market by foot, this is sort of the better way. And just to swivel you guys around, Mount of Olives is over there. So that gives you a bit of reference, and the Jewish quarter is where we are walking into now. A lot of people, they hate Israel, but they've never met an Israeli.
Yeah.
They've never met a Jew, and then suddenly they're like, wait a second, you're human like me.
Well, I think some people didn't grasp that opportunity the way you mentioned, in the sense that, like, if I met someone from somewhere around the world, I would actually be interested in talking to him, even if it's a place that I might have some issue with. But it also shows something kind of like unique in a bad way for us from Israel, is that there's no other country in the world, and I know this for a fact as someone who's traveled in a lot of places and met a lot of people from different countries and different circumstances, where people draw such a direct line connection between you as an individual and the conflict that your state is in. I have a friend, he's ultra-Orthodox actually, his name's Avi Gold, I don't know if you know who he is. He's like the craziest thing. He's ultra-Orthodox, he has a foreign passport, so he's traveled to like Afghanistan and Somalia.
Wow.
Like, he's been in all the places, and he has a lot of experience of being in this situation, like saying you're from Israel in enemy territory, right?
Yeah.
And we had this discussion about it. I made a video with him, by the way. We had this discussion, and we talked about it, where he said, look, there are several layers of this. You could have someone who you meet who doesn't have a problem with your country. Let's say you're in a anti-Israel country per se, right? And you might meet an individual person who it doesn't interest him, he doesn't have a problem. Or two, you can meet someone who has an issue with Israel, but he does do that differentiation where he treats you individually as a person, and he wants to get to know you and might even discuss the issue with you. And then there's a third option, which also doesn't always end so bad, which is they have a problem with Israel, they have a problem with you personally.
Just have a problem.
Yeah, they have a problem with you personally, but from the kind of like initial bad or aggressive encounter, sort of something good kind of comes out in the end.
Yeah.
I've had all three of those things.
It's such a big issue. It's like, how do you, like mainly my encounter with, hatred towards Jews is online. I haven't, met someone that was so, cursing me.
Well, you're lucky that you're filming in Israel most of the time.
That's the thing. But I'm saying, like, there's almost like no reasoning with them, and I found it very, very hard. So like, because you want to be able to have a conversation, and that's the thing that I feel, at least. It's like when you have a conversation with the person, you have two pairs of eyes to look at. Suddenly, we're both human. But I feel like when there's an unwillingness to speak, it's just sort of like cuts off the conversation completely, and it's a real shame, You don't think it's a shame?
It is. It's nice to have conversations, but it's kind of like maybe some people, they overestimate the ability of conversations to resolve everything, you know? Like, I think in the end of the day, obviously I'm all for, I think the more people meet, the better. So I'm not against that, but like in the end of the day, probably this isn't going to end with we all meet and agree, you know?
Oh no, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not
it's
naive to think that we'll have peace because some kind of ideal like we'll meet and we'll see each other as humans. Like no, I don't believe in
Something's
that
going to
either.
be imposed either diplomatically or militarily or economically or whatever it is, the circumstances. It's going to impose something. That's kind of like what we have now, sort of, kind of. So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
But I do see like what I see in your channel is like the first level of our nature, which is like, wait a second, let's talk about this. You know what I mean? Because if you have a conversation with someone on the street, that person is giving you permission to tell them your opinion, and likewise. And I think that it literally has to start. Like, if you actually want to understand one another, you just have to ask. People are very willing to answer. And so I think it starts with literally just giving someone the option to do it. I've had a lot of people, sorry, not a lot of people, but I've had some people that they, spoke with me and they started one thing and they ended up a bit more soft-hearted.
Yeah.
And it's because, and that's rare, it is rare, but it's just the fact that the approach was soft. We gave it the opportunity and they took it. And I think that those rare ones are sort of worth fighting for if you can, but I don't think it's to be expected with the majority of people, unfortunately.
Look, also, some of the stuff I did, I wasn't coming in kind of with that goal, you know? It's not like, oh, I'm coming to Egypt to make peace with Egyptians, you know? I'm coming, I want to see the place, and this is my experience. And I try to relay that experience as authentically as possible for good and for bad. I do like a lot of things about their culture and history of these countries that I'm interested in exploring. And I think a lot of them, people I see in the comments, they appreciate me for that I come with respect and I want to learn and I want to see. And I say sometimes good things about the religion in the sense like, I visit the sites and I talk about it and I highlight elements of coexistence when they existed and how they existed. Kind of, let's talk about Israel.
You're just traveling.
Exactly, I'm traveling, and then it kind of like it comes up.
Because it's by default, you suddenly have to become like a little bit of Hasbara, right?
every Israeli abroad is a foreign minister, they say, because you keep. I just think though, but like something about my approach is kind of, I don't apologize for anything. I don't grovel and say, oh, I'm sorry. No. Like I defend Israel very strongly, but I also show positive appreciation to their culture, kind of.
I really enjoyed one. I think either your last vlog or one of your last ones, where you're walking in a buto.
Yeah, that was my last one. Yeah, here in Jerusalem. Yeah.
And you bumped into a man that's been living there since before the borders changed.
Yeah.
And he showed where the borders literally were between Jordan and what was Jerusalem. Wow. And that's the cool thing. Like when you travel, you meet just cool people and you hear cool stories, and I love it, and you guys are gonna love it. Lovelies. We actually haven't been here for the vlog. We've been here for Israel Today. I'll link that in the card up there. But we basically left the city, the old city. So basically you just go from all the way up there and you come all the way down here and you get to Gat Shmanim. So we're walking all the way up there. And the moment you get in there, it gets a bit quiet, which is nice because it's enclosed. You can't really go into where all of the all the trees are, but you can go around. So, like all sites. But imagine this mountain being full of probably much more trees than what there are now. But it is said that in places like this, Yeshua would pray. So that's where we're going. it's really pretty in there. I think this was only my second time going in there. The first time I went in for filming. But if you are on a pilgrimage and you're a Christian and you want to come to places like this, I think it's worth it. It's really beautiful and really pretty. And just being like around the Garden of Gethsemane, which again, it could be that Yeshua was here, it could not be. It's all, speculation where he was exactly. But you can see like the gardens are really, really pretty, very well kept. You can't go in, but they keep it really, really nice. Guys, we are at this cafe, drinking up some water and maybe coffee before we go up. When I say go up, I mean a lot of stairs. So it'll be like a lot of heavy breathing and a lot of like, ugh, but you guys will enjoy me as you always do. But we're just gonna chill here for a second and mentally prepare ourselves. But you guys should know that if you go from Gethsemane and you just walk a bit up, you'll see these like stairs, and there's a cafe, and they're very nice people. Peoples, prepare yourself mentally, because I am, what do they say, a journey of 1,000 steps starts with?
One step.
I'm saying it wrong, but you guys get the point. Guys, I put myself to shame with this heavy breathing going up the stairs.
And she suggested it. When I told her, let's look for an interesting sign, she said we could hike up to the Mount of Olives. So this is all on you, Oriel.
It's on me. I am my own worst enemy, my biggest cheerleader. So I'm cheerleading myself all the way. You understand? Almost there. It was very steep. Okay guys, don't make the mistake I did. You come out there. I accidentally went up there, but you don't go up there. You come out of the steps and you take a right. You will see that sign and you are well on your way to the view. Look how stunning. So guys, we were just up where the Tatzpit is. I forget how you say it, but you can walk down and you come to basically to the graveyard, if you will. And here you have, like, you can see like that is a specific, like, a female rabbi. They say rabbanit, or in English rabbinate. But you will see a lot of like famous rabbis here. Guys, it's a bit like you have steps here, but sometimes you won't even notice that there's steps.
Oh yeah, that looks like a step, but it's actually a tomb. So you actually end up walking on a tomb.
Right.
But you can go here, for example. But look at this, look at this old tomb. So some of these tombs are really old. Some of them are newer, Look at that.
We have traveled quite a bit from the old city all the way to here. What do you think about the places? Because you haven't been to Garden of Gethsemane or here on Mount Scopus, right?
No, I have not.
What's your impression?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, look, you got the old city over there. I've been there many times. You have like Jerusalem, kind of modern Jerusalem on the other side that I've been many times. Up on this hilltop, which is like one of the most ancient places that you have here. We were talking about it. This cemetery here, it's like the oldest cemetery in the world. It's been active for over 2,000 years. You have Jewish tombs and Christian tombs and Muslim tombs here going back God knows how long. So it's pretty crazy. And I don't know, yeah, this city is special. I'm very connected to my Jewish identity, and I practice all the, I celebrate all the holidays with my family. I had like a very Jewish upbringing, but I'm not that religious myself. I don't have this, Oriel is talking about her personal connection with God and how she asks God for answers and prayers and stuff. I'm not as much of that, but I definitely have a deep sense of history and connection to like who I am and where I'm from as a Jewish person. And in that sense, you walk in Jerusalem and it's quite the experience. There's no other place that represents our history as a people with so much, where every place you walk, something historical happened. It's definitely very special. And I'm glad we did this collaboration. It's been really, really fun.
Yeah, it has been.
You guys, you should come to Jerusalem. And if you come to
Absolutely.
Jerusalem, reach out to me, maybe. I'm taking people on guided vlogs, so you have the chance to experience that. So yeah, you got to come to Jerusalem. It's a place you have to be.
Okay guys, Alec from Insightful Nomad has left. I'm just walking around here on the Mount of Olives. As you guys know, or I don't know if you do know, but most of the Mount of Olives is basically one massive grave because they believe that the Messiah is going to come back here, and I believe that too, according to Zechariah 14. And that's why they want to be here when the Messiah comes back so that they can be resurrected with him. And so, ooh, that's a bit creepy. The tombstone is sort of collapsed. These tombstones are very, 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 very old. Like, they're ancient. Some of them are, from the last 100 years, and some of them from way longer. And you can see some are more modern. Like, you can see those are more structured, and then you can see some like this that are, some of them have been broken. And I'm thinking that some of them don't have, living relatives that even know that they are buried here, or, you never know. But probably the people closest to them aren't even mourning them anymore. But yeah, here at this spectacular city. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to Alec, the Insightful Nomad. Again, please go to his channel because he really is just so spectacular. If you want just the raw footage of travel and Israel and commentary, he's super smart, super insightful. He's a journalist and has been for years, and he has such great perspective of Israel and the Middle East, and so it's worth following him for everything that he does. So I'll again link all of his things below, and you can go and enjoy his journey as well. But that's it. I wanted to just say I love you guys so much. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe. We go to all different places. If you are not new here, then welcome back. I love you. Goodbye from the Mount of Olives and the city of Jerusalem. Okay, love you, bye.